Welcome to Wrestling Brothers Breakdown.
We're brothers.
Who like wrestling?
What's on the show for today, Derek?
What's on the show for today, Brad, is we went to an independent wrestling show, local wrestling show, last night? Was it last night? Yeah, Friday night.
Yeah.
Was last night. Friday night.
FCPW, Fountain City Pro Wrestling, baby.
Fountain City Pro Wrestling in Olathe, Kansas.
Oh, yes.
Gotta love the independent shows where they're in little buildings or gymnasiums and you get maybe 50 to 100 people in the crowd. So
it was costume night.
Yeah, I did not see that on the ad. We showed up about 15
up
minutes before it
dude.
starts and we got second row seats. So
it was amazing. We got a lot to talk about. I took some really good notes. I had a lot of fun. It was great.
It was a good time. Good time to go watch the silliness of pro wrestling, the cast of characters of the crowd.
Oh, yes.
The crowd is quite its own cast of characters who come out to the independent shows. You know they're all diehard wrestling fans. I guess that makes us diehard wrestling fans too.
Especially that one guy's wife or girlfriend, just the scowl on her face. But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Was not happy.
Fan camera of the night.
Oh, yes. Shout out to Guy's Potato Chips because they were sponsors. It's good stuff. Yes. All right. So first match of the night was Captain Guthrie, or Guthrie, however you want to say it, versus Nick Chin, who is a ref all around some of the independent scenes. And it was
this one. Captain Midnight Guthrie against Nick Chin.
Yeah, Nick had an eye patch, and it's a street fight, they said, or not.
They said Olathe street fight, but they didn't really pull out much weapons.
A lot of weapons, yeah.
They pulled out couple cooking sheets and a chair.
Yeah.
That was about it.
Nick's wife had the powder blew into Guthrie's eyes.
Oh, yes.
Honestly, not seeing a whole lot of independent wrestling shows like this, I did not expect, one, all the streamers and toilet paper to be thrown into the ring, and two, if you did not move out of the way, you were probably going to get hit by one of the wrestlers.
Yeah, if you're in the front row, yeah.
My goodness, I was like,
there's no railing there. Like they might end up in your lap if you don't step aside. Or I got hit by a water bottle.
That was later on. That was funny, dude. It was an entertaining way to start the show. Oh, let's just be honest. Like I was dying laughing. I was entertained. I was.
The captain guy. What's his
Captain
face?
Guthrie.
The crowd did not like him. He was heeling it up against the crowd, and the crowd started immediately chanting. There was a bunch of 10-year-old girls and a family sitting next to me in the row, and the whole crowd started chanting very inappropriate things I will not say on this podcast due to PG rating that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I did not have that on my bingo card to hear 10-year-old girls chanting this very inappropriate phrase about... Yeah, I would say an inappropriate phrase. I'm not even going to paraphrase it.
Yep, we'll leave it at that. But yeah, that was...
It was hilarious to hear the whole place chanting that. And I was just like, oh, man. And then
you could buy streamers and the toilet paper. I thought about going to the bathroom and taking that toilet paper, but it was probably been nicer than the stuff they were selling for $3 a roll or whatever.
Yeah.
So
that was entertaining. There was a distraction video to distract him for a while so that he could get unhandcuffed from the ring. For a while, he got handcuffed, and then his wife did the powder thing. But then a random distraction video. Danhausen was in the distraction video, and I was like, oh, man, that'd be crazy if Danhausen showed up. That would have been funny. But Nick won.
Which allowed him to be the ref at the main event for...
Oh, yes. I forgot that was a stipulation.
Title.
Yes.
World title. So we'll talk about that later.
I did not write down rankings, but it was entertaining.
I
don't know how to rank these independent matches. I will say I enjoyed the show. As it went on, the later matches seemed to have better skill and or timing and or smoothness or choreography, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Flow.
Athleticism, I don't know.
Smoothness, working together. What do they call that? I don't know. Chemistry, yeah. And versus some of it was like, We'll get by with you barely hit him, or I kind of nicked him with this jumping thing, and the reason we'll get past it is because the boards are so loud when they slam that
I thought
every hit that doesn't even have to look like you hit him really hard, as long as the mat goes boom every time they land, and then it
I
looks
thought a
like it
few
was.
times, even in that first match, I thought they're going to go through it. I thought it was
Yeah,
going to be destroyed and just be
the
like, well,
ring
that's,
had a bunch of give.
oh yeah.
Oh,
So
hey Tez. Yes.
that was the first match of the night.
Yes.
Second one was a tag team match. We had Chancla Violence versus Main Event. So wasn't too bad. Had a little bit of coordination issues. There's some really cool tag team moves by Main Event, which you know
Main
me, I'm a sucker
attraction.
for good. I'm a sucker. What?
Main attraction, not
Main
main event.
attraction, not Main Event.
Yeah, here let me.
Oops, I'm thinking of that store or that
The
place.
Dave and
where they
Buster's
play
like
video games.
knockoff place. Yeah.
Yeah, Main
Chancellor
Attraction.
Violence versus Main Attraction.
My bad, Main Attraction. I can't even get my names right on my notes either, so I'm thinking Main Event.
Tobias Storm and Calvin Elridge.
But man, the Chancla Violence, man, I think they were the heels considered.
Yes.
They did
Was
a
that the
good
guy who had the
job.
sandals on over his wrestling pants?
I think so. And then he had the apron that everybody was making fun of him for,
Oh,
and then he
yes.
left it there for like 4 matches and just
This was the big guy who looked like straight out of our logo right up here above us. The
dude, he
lucha
was
had the just traditional lucha mask and
huge.
lucha pants, and he was huge, probably 6'6", 250 pounds. Like he
Man,
looked
that
like
dude was a
Bane from the
monster.
Batman in the '90s. You know, just that terrible Batman movie
Yeah.
with the cartoon Bane guy. Like that's what he looked like.
But yeah, Main Attraction, not Main Event, picked up the W with the what they call the move, the double stuff.
Double stuff.
Double stuff for the win. So it was
Tobias wanted to be stuffed a lot. Kept running around like trying to get people to high five him in his little hand signals he made that was just didn't seem appropriate either.
like a what? Okay, yeah. So hey, you know me, I love a good tag team match, so it was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. So
Oh yes, wrestling in sandals. That's what I wrote. Wrestling. He was wrestling in sandals.
wrestling in sandals. Oh yes, the third, another tag team match. ACFC versus Ray Leon and his mystery partner, which I could never hear the dude's name, so somebody in the crowd called him Gingerbeard because he had
Gingerbeard.
a
Oh yeah.
ginger he had a red beard, so that's what I wrote down on my notes.
Was this when Luke came out? The mystery partner was Luke?
Nope,
No.
don't think so. It was that other guy, and then they had the announcer, their
Oh yeah, the manager guy.
dude. It did. I mean, it was okay. This is the one that, man, it took forever to finally get actually to wrestling. It's a lot of run around or just like tag,
Oh
no
yeah.
tag, or just fake and just
Lots of crowd interaction. I don't know how many times I heard wrestlers yell "shut up" to the crowd, just when the crowd would chant stupid stuff at him, and they'd be like, "Shut up, shut up."
Oh man, that's great. That's what the small shows are like because you can hear everything.
Yeah,
They're
I
like,
forget it. I was like,
though, that's a really good one.
the show
Like,
started. I'm like, Brad, shut up, Brad, shut up. Like, I'm like, oh wait, I forget it's a wrestling show. You should be. You're encouraged to like yell stupid and inappropriate things at the wrestlers, like to try
Yeah.
to antagonize them to see if they'll interact with you.
The crowd is definitely behind ACFC. And what was it? A few times they took out like 3 rows of chairs, like diving into the crowd. Like
Yes.
chairs went everywhere. That's probably where we got Scowface Sandra. I'll call her Scowface Sandra.
Scowface Sandra, fan of the night.
She's just like,
There was a lady there who was obviously, if we had to guess, was just the wife of a husband who was obviously a huge wrestling fan because he likes to come to the wrestling shows, and she was like this and they just happened to pick the side of the ring where all the big outside of the ring spots happened like right directly in front of them, and they had to get up and move out of the way to not get smashed. And she was many times had a terrified look on her face or was just not impressed and was like looking at her watch like she was like, is this over yet? And we were just having a good time cracking up at her not having a good time at the show. Scowface Sandra was very entertaining to us.
yeah, maybe we'll edit that part out because we'll end up watching and then be like, whoops.
We didn't say who or where, just a person.
That's true.
There was a good tope suicida in that one. The guy dove through the ropes.
Oh yeah. then Ray Leon and the other guy, I put bad guys. The heels won with a little trickery and with a little cheating.
Yeah, as is
So
a heel way.
as is the heel way, but still a little slow at first, but finally got going, and then it was good. I liked it. So
It was good. Next up
oh
was the guys' snack invitational elimination match. This is a four-way
yes,
match. You had to pin or submit everybody till you were the last man standing.
we had Cameron, aka Men with Morals guy. We had Bert, who came out with a shirt that said fat and then question mark.
There was no question about it. That is one of the largest men I have seen. And not large like I lift weights type of way. Just like,
And then his pants said Bert Candy.
yes, he was a large man.
And then was it Huna, if I saw it right. He's
I don't see his name on here, so
it was on his pants somewhere. I think it was Huna or
we
something like that. Kind of looked like
your description of Timu Xavier Woods was
Timu
very
Xavier
appropriate.
Woods. Us like
It's Timu
okay.
Xavier Woods.
And then oh yeah, Luke Langley. Shout out to Luke Langley.
Luke Langley
Good
showed up. Yes, we had seen
stuff.
Luke Langley previously at Central States Wrestling Show. So I've seen him twice before, I think, actually. So
That dude's just ripped, man. He's just awesome.
Luke Langley has a very nice physique. He looks jacked. He's very
we need to
impressive.
get him on there for an interview or something.
Yeah,
So
I posted
that's
a
all that
photo
need-
of him on Instagram. Said, "Hey, I was at
yeah,
the local
he
wrestling
shared it.
show tonight," and he retweeted it or re-Instagrammed it. So that was cool.
Reshared it, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, reshared it to his story.
Luke, hit us up. We'd love to do an interview, man.
Yeah, good times. I almost
Good
bought his
stuff. Tell us
shirt.
your-
I should have not
tell
been.
us your
I should have not
workout
been a
secret.
cheapskate. I
Hit
really
those
like.
veins.
I really liked his shirt. I almost bought it. I should have bought it. I was just being a cheapskate. So maybe next show he's at, I'll buy it.
Good stuff. Back to the match after our shout out to Luke Langley. Bert got eliminated first
Yep.
after he took his shirt off.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Huna got eliminated second. Luke eliminated him, and then Cameron got eliminated, and our boy Luke won.
Luke won.
So
And then you
it
got on
was
the
good
mic
stuff.
and talked about how he main evented the last show, which I hadn't been to before.
Yep.
And then, but the microphone was either the battery was dying or something, or it was way overmodulated on the sound system. It was like, couldn't hear it. But that happens. It was a independent show, so definitely some production value differences to if you've been to other shows or TV level shows. Think of like, hey, three friends who like this, and we're gonna set up something in our basement and try to make it work. So, shout out to them
Yeah.
for putting on a show that people came and it was entertaining.
Yep. That's what it's all about. Oh, next up. I was not expecting this, and I enjoyed it so much. Match of the night. The no holds barred. Anakin Murphy.
Pretty much a death match. I mean, the
Death
classic street fight, hardcore match.
Versus Gary
death
J,
match.
aka Robo Ginger, as he calls himself.
Here's the capture.
Looks like
for
our
it.
friend Chris. Shout out to Chris for his
Oh
double.
yes, I sent a picture to Chris and I was like, "Your doppelganger is wrestling again tonight."
He's out there. Man, it's
And versus a 13-year-old looking kid, Anakin. Like, I don't like sand. The kid looked like he was 110 pounds.
dude.
Tiny guy.
I
I think
didn't
I'm probably
know-
bigger than him, and I'm
I didn't know what to
5'10".
expect, honestly. But man, this was bloody. Lots of out of the ring stuff, flipping onto the chairs, thumbtacks,
Top rope to the chair on the apron to the
the
floor.
cheese
That one
grater.
looked. Yeah, thumbtacks, cheese grater.
Oh, more thumbtacks, more graters. I mean, yeah, the flip off the top rope into the chair. Just man, the trading slaps into what I put they look like chopsticks, or I thought it was a bunch
Oh
of
yeah,
like
there's a word for it, but that chopstick is the only thing I
spaghetti,
can
whatever.
think
I
of.
was like, was he just pull out a bunch of noodles? And
I've
then
seen
the
that one
someone
other time before on
stick it
TV.
all over his face, and I was like,
People stab it into people's head.
it was great.
It was great.
It was like wow. Like I had not seen, a match like that or been that close to one. It's like, okay, this is dude,
Yeah.
this is
I would not
great.
want to fall on thumbtacks. I did like the
No.
ref was trying to pick him up and sweep him out of the way, and then Gary kept falling on the thumbtacks. And what was it?
I
You
think I
yell-
shouted that. I was like, Gary, stop falling on the thumbtacks. It's not good.
yeah. He got up one time. I was like trying to pick him out of his back. I was like,
Oh, and then the hit, and I was like, oh, but it was good.
yeah, it was
It was
entertaining.
it was really good. And then the 15, 20 minute, let's dose the whole
Oh
place
yeah,
in
and after
bleach
that, so that
and
match
clean.
brought
Oh,
up intermission, and then they had to clean the ring, and all that stuff, and like,
oh my goodness.
and then I was like, my eyes hurt from all the bleach in the room.
So much bleach.
So
But
much.
yeah, they did it. And they had the little costume contest. I don't remember who won. The Fiend was there, as so were a couple other.
Oh yeah,
So it was, yeah, it was a good time for intermission.
that's
That
what's
was
cool
like,
about independent shows. Like they'll have intermissions, and all the wrestlers will go out to their tables and sell their merch, and you can go around and talk to them, take pictures with them, and I think that's cool about local independent shows.
yeah, you get to meet them and
You can meet them and find all their stuff, buy their merch. It's a good time. I mean, they're out there for entertaining. They're trying to work on something that they're passionate about. You're passionate about it as a fan. You can go up and say hi. Say, hey man, I really liked your match. You're awesome.
yeah.
Where
How
else
do
do
you get
you
those
wrestle?
veins
Or
shooting across your arms and down, your chest and all that
yeah,
cool
shout
stuff.
out to Luke. Yeah, what's your workout regime?
Dude, he on one of his things, Instagram or Facebook, he had a picture of him like 8 years before and then like now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
He said one day at a time. I was like, dude, it's crazy.
All right. Next match was Warhorse versus Logan.
Logan Knight versus Warhorse. Yeah. Was Warhorse? Yeah, Warhorse is the
Warhorse was your Rob Van Dam clone from 20 years
22-year-old
ago.
Rob Van Dam.
I was like, man,
He
this guy looks
stood
like
right
Rob
in
Van
front of me,
Dam
and I was like,
20 years ago.
Rob Van Dam. He's probably like, you idiot. Like, that's what you look like, man. Like,
He played his character well, just kind of like tough, and I don't have time for this, and I'm here to do whatever. And then he made
some
some
cool
big
pants,
speech like,
though.
you guys will all understand what I'm doing or something. And then he ran around in a circle very sillily to go run and kick the guy, and it did not line up with his promo line he yelled out. And then you said, run around in a circle again. That was pretty funny.
That was great. I went to go watch their videos, see if I could be like, yep, that was me. Like, run around in a circle again.
Yeah.
That's too funny. Yeah, I put that. I think Warhorse running in circles, laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji. So, what else I put? He did the double leg stomp a few times. That was kind of cool. Oh,
It's a bunch of jumping kicks.
I called it. I don't know what it was. It looked like he hooked his leg and did a cartwheel slam.
Yeah, that was an interesting, weird thing. I thought he missed it, but no, it was actually like a cartwheel.
I called it a cartwheel slam. I was
A
like,
cartwheel slam. Yeah.
well, you grabbed his leg and did a cartwheel and slammed. I'm like, that's cool, man. Like, that's entertaining. And I think Warhorse won with the Macho Man flying elbow.
That
of
was an
course.
awesome looking elbow. Like sometimes people do elbows from the top and then they'll like land on their leg and knee and then fall over, and you can tell that they tried really hard to not land on him. Not that he landed on him hard on purpose or anything, but like it looked like a good elbow. Like that had to hurt to do.
Yeah. So
It was a good looking Macho Man elbow from the top.
Yeah. It was pretty good. Pretty good match for after, intermission. Next was the intergender match. SK Bishop versus
The premier SK
Stormy
Bishop.
Renee.
She was part of
What?
Only Friends with Cameron.
Oh yeah, and then SK Bishop. Who was he with when we went to?
I looked it
Central
up. He was in a
Wrestling
tag
few
team with
times.
somebody else. But yeah, we saw him at a
Um,
Central States wrestling show.
It wasn't too bad. I didn't know what to expect. You don't see too many of these kind of matches anywhere,
Yeah.
hardly.
Only like training, like when people are practicing.
Yeah. I honestly forgot who. I didn't even put who won. I said missed frog splash roll up into botched count.
Oh yeah, the botch count.
Yeah, it's like 1, 2.
Yeah,
Three,
and
it's
then pause, and then one more count, and three. I was like, was that three, or was it the start of a new 1, 2, whatever?
Yeah, so
That's when they were talking a bunch of trash and throwing stuff at each other afterwards. You handed the water bottle back to SK Bishop. He threw it at her. She picked it up and threw it at him really hard, and he was standing right in front of us, and it hit the floor and exploded onto me and this person next to me. And so I got a bunch of water on me, and
oh
it was
yeah.
very entertaining. But
We
yeah,
missed it. Was it after the when did Jeremy return?
The run-in, that
It
was,
was with Warhorse, right? Wasn't
yeah,
it
I think it
after?
was after that match.
Yeah.
And before this match, there was a big run-in. So Jeremy, what's his name, former Central States Wrestling Champion, showed up.
Yeah.
Obviously
And
had a
then
problem with so and so. Like,
like
people want to
everybody came
fight.
out for that. And man, and then he walked out the
Locker
one
room
room.
empties out, pull them apart, let them fight and argue.
Jeremy walks out the main entrance and then sneaks in the side one, and that was pretty funny. And then that's when somebody, I won't say who, threw a roll of toilet paper into the ring, and then that got involved in there. So that was
Yes.
that was highly entertaining. It's like, oh,
I
there's
did like
toilet
that they
paper.
all the little 8 and 10-year-olds and 6-year-olds were just walking around the ring and throwing streamers and toilet paper and like just starting chants and just like they were there like just having a grand old time. Like
And writing on
they didn't
their
know any better.
cardboard like you suck, you're terrible. I'm
Yeah.
like, I should have brought cardboard and a Sharpie or a marker,
People had
or
some signs
something.
that were pretty creative. I was like, oh man, we should start making signs for these things
Yeah,
like back in the day.
good stuff, good stuff. But yeah, that was
So that's obviously setting
interesting.
up a feud for a future show.
Uh-huh. And then finally at what was it? It started at like 10 o'clock, man, before the main event happened.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a long show.
The first, I don't know if it's their first ever, it was for the Fountain City Pro Wrestling Championship belt.
Yeah, I think it was their inaugural champion.
Jay Fowler versus Camaro Jackson.
I liked Jay Fowler. He looked pretty good.
He did.
He looked like neon. His pants were very like neon flavored.
They said he was 220, 225 or something, and Camaro came in at like 260 something. Boy,
Camaro, man, it looks
and
like he could
quads, probably
squat.
squat.
Quads bigger
Who
than my
knows how much?
waist.
Goodness gracious.
He looked.
And then we both said it. Finally, they start a match with a lockup.
Oh yeah, it's the first tie up,
Finally,
first collar tie up.
eighth match of the night, and they start with a lockup. So, or no, this one, Jay Fowler looked like Macho Man.
Yeah, he looked
I
like a
guess the other
macho
guy,
man with neon pants.
yeah, the other guy did. It looked like Rob Van Dam. Yeah, this guy's the Macho Man, and so oh, yeah. So
He had some good kicks, some good running jumps. I liked. I really thought this match could have went either way. It was back and
uh-huh.
forth, and I was just like, I didn't know who they were going to try to build a story around. So I was like,
Yep.
I thought Fowler was going to win it for a while.
He had a middle rope turn splash. We like hopped on it and then turned in midair and did like a splash. That was pretty cool. What was it? Jackson had the only way to describe it is like a spear kind of thing, and then he had like a Falcon Arrow brain buster for a
Oh
near
yeah, it was like a
fall. Like
brainbuster slash part Falcon Arrow
half
kind of
these
pile
moves, I'm
driver
like, I don't
slam
know how
thing.
to describe it except what I've seen from other people, so I'm just gonna call it that. I'm just like, well, that's probably not what they call it or what it's supposed to be, but
Yeah,
yeah, that's what it looks like,
the
and it's pretty
brainbuster
cool.
Falcon Arrow. That's what it looked
Yeah.
like.
Oh, and then the Jay Fowler had that superplex off the top rope, which I thought the ring was going to
I
collapse.
thought the ring was going to break then too. Like it.
And then he hit like a jackhammer right after that for a near fall.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, I really thought he was going to win it there. But yeah, the ring took a big hit there, and I was just like,
And then the ankle lock. The ankle
good
lock.
old ankle lock.
And then Nick, the ref, gets hurt.
Oh yeah,
And Jay with the low blow. But Camaro picks him up, slams him down for the win.
yep. Wins the
And
belt
new, or I guess it's not new, and a
first.
first time, whatever.
Yeah, Fountain City Pro Wrestling champion Camaro Jackson.
And passionate as we watched later on because we needed to get home because it was like 10:30 and we still had to I still had to drive another 30 minutes after that to get home.
Yep.
Passionate promo from Camaro after that. So
Yeah, it was good times. It was good. I had not been to Fountain City Pro Wrestling. It was a good
oh,
independent local wrestling show. I see these kinds of shows pop up on Facebook, and for $20, it's great entertainment to go watch
mhm.
for 2 to 3 hours of wrestling and see some local wrestlers working their way up. So,
The streamers and the toilet paper, the oh my gosh, if you don't move, you're going to get demolished
yep.
by a wrestler.
Some of the crazy people in the crowd, you're just like, oh my goodness. The
That
people
that
that
won it over. I was like, this is great. Like, yeah, that was pretty cool. So good times.
It's a good time. So go out and support your local independent wrestling shows because those are the guys you may be watching on the big leagues at AEW, WWE in the future. 5, 10 years down the road. You never know. And you can
I'm
say,
not.
hey, I
It's
saw
still
them get
going to
their
be
start back in the
pretty
day.
cool. Love
Wrestling's
the
awesome.
show.
live wrestling's always awesome, no matter what level it is. So I'll go watch it at the fair. I'll go watch it in the gym. I'll go watch it at TV at the arena.
There you go.
All right, that's going to do it for this show, guys. We will have some more shows coming up soon. I still want to do the top 10 PWI 500 list. We got to do that. It's right here.
Oh, yes. John Cena's retirement matches.
We can do some of those predictions before. So we've got 3 or 4 weeks till our next show.
Can't see me.
So we'll put out some more content if we can. If we get Brad moved to his new house.
Thursday.
So that's it for today. We'll talk to you guys later.
See ya.